Hello everybody and welcome to my PC gaming build. First of all, I'd like to say sorry about the camera. I've got no one to hold it for me, so we're going to have to do it like this. Also, sorry if the sound quality is bad, I am recording on a cheap camera. So let's begin. What have I got? Oh man, this camera is going to be an issue. Let's see if I can improve it a slight bit. Okay, so we have Samsung 840 EVO SSD, one of the best bang for buck SSDs in existence, and it's very fast, so I'm looking forward to that. So let's put that out of the way. We have XMS3 Corsair 8GB DDR3 RAM, dual channel, and the reason I chose two 4GB instead of one single 8GB is because dual channel memory means you'll get a better speed, will improve performance in general over a single stick. Nothing much to say about that. There we go. Oh, also the reason I chose these is because they're low profile, so that means you can have a nice cooling fan over the top of them without obstructing anything, which is amazing. So it's worth paying a little bit extra, and also the CL9, which is very low timers, which is amazing. That's going to be very useful. Next, Z97 Extreme4 ASRock, sorry. And the reason why I chose this is, one, Z97 is for the future. So because it's a Z97, that means I can put in the next generation of processors and beyond. It's got good future-proof ability, so that's awesome. So let's look at the actual board. Super alloy, stable and reliable, and I'll quickly read out the things on the back because you probably won't be able to see them too well. So XXL aluminium, not aluminum, alloy heatsink design, sapphire black PCB, which is quite nice. I love the black PCB. Dual stack MOSFET for CPU power. Next FET MOSFETs, which is great. I'm glad they finally added them. 12K platinum caps, which means this is going to basically last longer than the competitors, literally. What else is there? Premium alloy choke, which is useful. ASRock cloud, which isn't that important to me. Purity Sound 2 is going to be very interesting, and I look forward to trying to use that, because apparently it's meant to be near audiophile level, and if it's up to that level or even halfway to that, then I'm over the moon already, because I've got a nice amp to plug this into that goes into some nice analog speakers. Also, ASRock App Store, meh. And SATA Express connector, okay, that's pretty useful. An M2 socket, which is the next generation of PCIe slash SATA for PCIe SSD. So basically you're going to get, like, I think it's 10 gigabyte speed, and if that's the case, that's pretty decent. HDD saver technology. So there we go, let's move that out of the way now. Next is this little beast I like to call TurboDuo Radeon R9 280X overclocked edition. Yeah, it's not much of an overclock, but it's an overclock nonetheless, and it's better than a reference card, that's for sure. 3GB GDDR5 RAM, AMD Infinity, 4K display support, of course, PCIe Express 3 with GCN technology, which is great for Mental, for Battlefield and games, newer games that are coming out on the market. You get a huge boost in frames per second. On the back, I'll quickly have a look. GCN architecture, 384-bit memory interface, which is pretty fast. There's nothing much to say apart from their marketing stuff on the back, because you know, every card manufacturer likes to put a lot of marketing into it, so it looks better than it sounds better than it actually is, but it's actually a very decent card. Here it's the CX Modular 750 watt series. Of course, I pretty much have to go with Corsair, because they've always been the best PSU manufacturer, in my opinion, for my usages. Some people may argue that a certain other brand may be a little better, or etc, etc, but Corsair, I've stuck with them for years, I'll never leave them. And of course, the Intel i7 4770K for overclocking. Now, why did I get well, let's move back a bit. So the i5 4670K is amazing for games. And some people say the i7 isn't much of a boost for games, like 10 frames per second or something silly like that. But the reason I chose this is because the 8 threads for future-proofing myself in case of future generation games, and also for apps. This will be bonkers in apps. It is literally the best i7 in existence right now. So yeah, unless by the time this video is uploaded there's a new batch or something, but this is the best of the best. And it's worth paying extra for that, in my opinion, for what I'm going to be using it with. Now with the R9 280X, I also got given this, which is Radeon Gold Reward. And what this is about £150, £170, I'm not sure, worth of games, including games that aren't out yet, like Murdered Soul Suspects. And this is the case. It is the Corsair 200R Carbide series. So yeah, looking back at all this stuff, literally everything pretty much is almost Corsair, which is quite strange because I didn't plan for that to happen. I just genuinely enjoy their products. So yeah, anyway, let's start the build. First of all, I will note that the power supply and SSD are already in this case because I had those parts before getting all these new parts, so I placed them in there already. Let's have a little discussion about that. So here's the CX750M. Now you're probably wondering, where's the fan? Well, the fan is actually facing down because there was a nice vent down here with also a dust filter, and it's recommended if you have a vent, if you have a holes and a dust filter, to place your power supply downwards, because you'll get much better cool air into your power supply and getting a better performance in general. So that's highly recommended. And you probably cannot see it, but you won't be able to see it at all. My SSD is literally near enough invisible. Literally near enough invisible. So, sorry about the where it'd be hard to see what I'm doing from this. So first of all, I'm going to take off both sides of the case. There we go. Let's move some of my stuff out of the way. So, okay, now that's sorted, I'm going to put all the leads through to the back of the case because I might not need them in this position. So they're all out of the way, I think, yes. So all the fans, all the cases, all the cables, damn, are out of the way. Next I have to make sure I don't break any of them. There we go. So, one nice empty case. So what we're going to do first, I think it'd be best to throw in the motherboard, of course, because the power supply is there, the SSD is there. If you can see it now, you can barely see it. Let's move these parts out of the way. Now, let's get onto the motherboard. And this motherboard is one of the best out there, literally, because it's come first or second at the worst in every single benchmark and comparison. It's literally one of the top 2 at the time of recording this video. So let's see what we get with this. Quick installation guide. Now this could be useful, even though I know my way around this because I've built so many computers, It's useful for things like headers. If you don't know what that is, don't worry, just ignore that because it's not too important in this video at this point. We'll come back to that. Also, let's see what else we got. Oh, nice. Black SATA cables. Now this is handy. Oh, nice. Two. I'll see. Okay. Okay, that's quite handy. Yep, they're both 6 gigabits per second, SATA 3 too. The reason I'm happy they're black is because this build is going to be black and blue, literally. Also, back mount. Not back mount, what am I on about? Back panel is what I was supposed to have said. So let's move this out of the way and install this already. Open up, as in it, like it's a chocolate bar or something. Oh, I have to use my teeth. So for those with OCD out there, let's talk about this. The thing that's good is there's not a stupid amount of colours, it's just perfect. So there we go, what we've got is 2 USB, that would be a PS2, DVI, HDMI, some more USBs, DisplayPort, USBs, Ethernet, SPDIF, and various other audio stuff. So let's chuck this in. What we do is, I don't know if you can see this that well, and I can't really move. Oh, actually, before putting it in, I've got to see which orientation. Actually, I think it's going to be that orientation, but let's check it first on the board, just in case. Because silly stuff like this could be a bad thing. Oh, this is beautiful. This is quite nice. It was worth paying extra for this. You might not be able to see it too well now, but you will see it eventually when I have a proper overview. So that's going to go in this direction, which means this has to go. Let's have a look. Is that the PS2 port on the audio? Yes, that's correct. In that case, this goes down here in this direction. It just literally slots straight in. You should hear a little noise, and just keep fiddling around until you do. Damn, this is tough. I might have to move the case just so I can see what's going on. Right, bear with me, guys. There we go. That's the noise I like to hear. Make sure it's in fully, which it's not at this point. There we go. That's more like it. So that looks pretty flush with this case actually, so I'll give it that, that's pretty decent. So we had it in this direction, yes that's correct. So there we go, that's the easiest part in existence over with. So next, the way I like to do this is, here's the motherboard. I like to just place it in and get ready to screw it straight away and place the parts in over the top. So, question is, where are the screws? Are they with the power supply? I think they possibly could be. So let's have a look. Let's have a quick look through this in case I'm missing anything important, because I don't want to break anything at this point, in case there's anything new to take into consideration. Right. Let's look for the power supply case. Here it is. That's one thing I forgot to say. It also comes with an SLI bridge, so that's quite useful, and it can also do crossfire. So of course it's literally top of the range for that stuff. I'm not. It may sound like I'm bragging, but I'm not bragging. I just want you guys to know about certain things that are important, and I think that's very important to state. That is top of the range at the time of this video, so people know what they're expecting, get them what they expect. Okay, Corsair case, that could be useful. I'm sure there's some nice screws inside here. Okay. Question is, which one's which? That's the worst part to figure out. Okay. I think they're the smaller ones, but I'll remember rightly. Let's do a little test, and we'll soon find out. Actually, no, I think it's one of the larger ones after all. So let's get a larger one. So I think I'll remember these ones more. So I think the other ones are for SSDs. So let's throw one of these bad boys out. We'll soon find out. Perhaps not. Oh, yep, it is this one. Yep, okay. Knew it all along. Good, good. So let's move these ones out of the way because I won't be using them. Nothing else came in the box, so let's get going. I'll be talking more about these parts and their features in the future, very soon future. I've just realised something very silly I forgot to do. So I'm going to take my socks off quickly. Then I'm going to attach this bad boy to myself, which basically grounds me into metal, so there's no static. So there we go. Good, good. Right, I feel a bit better now. So let's get this motherboard. Oh, I need scissors. Okay, right, I'll be back in a sec. Right, so I'm back with the scissors. Plug this back in. Let's cut this off. There's another one. Looks like there's going to be 4 in total. And last one is here. And there we go. So, there are lots of things I could do at this point before putting it in the case if I want to. And yes, actually I should. You guys might not be able to see this well, and I'm sorry, but not much I can do about that. Yeah, it's not much I can do about that. Okay. So here's the i7. Let's take it out. And let's install this before putting it into the case. So that would make sense. Okay. Comes with manuals that are useless and nobody reads. Here's the actual chip for this little bad boy. Costs so much money. And it's tiny. Yep, it's legit. Genuine. Good. And then we have the... Okay everyone, so the battery ran out as I was building the computer, and I didn't have enough time to charge it, so I just went ahead and kept building it. And here it is, the final piece. Black and blue. Isn't that true? So there we go, the 750 watt modular power supply. The 280X, this is actually running, but I don't care. I've done this before so many times, it makes no difference. Poke, poke, poke. Really makes no difference. Also, one thing I'd like to state about this card is it's got a lot of heat pipes, which is cool. And also this is great cooling solution at the top. It's a great heat sink. And even though I've been playing Watch Dogs for a while, it's cool to touch. It's not hot at all. So that's great. I might even overclock the card even more than it is already. So that's great potential. Z97 chip board. And there's the cool little heatsink fan that came free with the Intel i7 4770K, which I will be replacing soon. 2 DIMMs of which equal to 8GB RAM, and I think I've got them at 1800 megahertz CL8. Yeah, I think it's CL8 at the moment, so that's pretty decent. I'll have to get 2 more DIMMs soon, maybe in the future, and maybe another cooling fan in the future too, but they're not on top of my list. There's more important things that I need to pay first before thinking about that stuff. And there's the SSD. You probably cannot even see it because it's so dark. But what do you think of my cable management, guys? It looks pretty clean, doesn't it? I did pretty well. So thank you for watching the build. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'll be doing some benchmarks soon. So I'll see you in those videos. Mac out.